And good afternoon. This is the Elliott Wave daily update for the NASDAQ 100 being recorded on Thursday, August the 21st at 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I'm here in the hourly chart, and while there were some decent moves today, and for day trading, primarily it was kind of, a lot of places very choppy, very uncertain, and stuck in tight ranges. So I want to open up this one on the hourly. We can kind of take a look. There was the open, and here the rally took place immediately after. So within the second half hour, or actually, let me just, you know what? I got to drop it down because I think it was started just after the opening. So let's start there and go here. So here was our open. And then it turned much at the top of the hour when the additional numbers came out and the market decided to pick it up and take a run. And it did. And then spent the next hour to 3 hours just bringing it back down to session lows. So it opened, made a low for the session, ran up, and then brought it back down to make the low for the entire session. And then just spent the rest of the day kind of really tight. Now, what I want to take a look at is that it hasn't really broken out of the pattern that really kind of lets me know. Um, and I actually want to I'm going to put this just because I cheat. And I got to put it there. And I'm going to go like this. I'm going to edit that property, put an A on it. And so it's going to be the A. And this all could be a B. And I'll tell you, it could be A, B coming down into C. And then it shoots up and comes back. So it could be ABC, A, B, and then 5 down to be a C wave. So it still could be an ABC, and we can put a B on here. Now, if that's the case, what is it suggesting? It's suggesting that it's 1, 2, and we should be going into a third. And if it is, it needs to get it going. And what I mean by that, as you've heard this many times from me before, is that when it's breaking into a third wave, that's most often, the longest and the strongest leg of an impulse move would be a third wave. So I'd be looking for it to start to just catch fire, in this case, to the upside, and just start going through and just keep pushing up through resistance and keep going. Now, if it's a C wave, our first marker is 23,327. I think it's just a pause. If we actually are going to go up, it's a pause. And we get through that. This would be our first marker, 382, for that sub-minuet fourth wave, which is this whole move. And then here is where wave C would be equal to wave A. All right, so that's that measurement there. And 100% is 2345. Excuse me, 23,454. And so that would be 100% hitting the previous fourth wave of 1 lesser degree on the nose. And then we start to come back down to put in the sub-minuet fifth wave to complete that minuet C and that minute fourth wave. And again, just taking it back out to the hourly, this is the third. So we're looking for the fourth to be complete and then a fifth wave down to finish this wave. Now, what's the other side of this coin? We've not broken this yet, so it leaves open the other possibility of that this is A, B, we're going up in a C wave, and there's the markers again. Now, the other side of that story is that we will break here, and this was an ABC, that's the 4, the sub-minuet fourth wave right there. And then what we have is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're kind of in that, in my estimation, we're kind of in that same situation, both to the upside and the downside, where whatever's going to come in and clarify what the labeling is going to be and clarify what the market's intent is here needs to begin and not look back. So it's either we're getting ready to drop in a third wave, or we're beginning to run up in a third wave. So different, and that this would be ABC coming up, and this is 1 down to here, 2. So this is the 5th wave. So it's ABC up, wave 4. We're working on the downside. We're working on that 5th wave. And so we have A, or 1, 2, 1, 2, and we start dropping. Now these would be for the 5th wave. I actually can move those up just a tad. So let me activate that and move that over. Nope, actually I was right. Sorry about that, folks. Let me move it back. Move the A. That's what needs to move. I knew something was off. All right, so I'm going to leave that A there. And so what we have again, ABC, A, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's actually still ABC, and it could be the whole 4th wave, 1, 2, 1, 2, coming down, or A, B, 1, 2, 3 going up in the C wave. Either way, we're looking for something to move us away from this range, to break the range, either upside or downside, and either on the upside complete a 4th wave, or to the downside start working on the 5th. So the sub-minuet 5th wave, and that would be to complete this C wave down. Now, if that's the case, we'll pull this open a little bit so we can see. We just want it to come below this bottom of this minuet A wave. And that is at 22,836. Well, 886? No. 22,700? Yes. Could it do it? Yes. We've got the start where they come in and they start really hitting stuff. Tomorrow's an expiration. And so they could do it before 10. So that would come over either overnight or within that first half hour. Powell's speech begins at 10 a.m. Eastern. So we'll see how they want to play this and how they're going to do it. Because the other thing is the speech is not going to be in line with what they want to hear, and it sinks. And it goes straight to these levels or even further. We can't forget that we have additional levels all the way down. And that could be for the C wave, by the way. So yes, there's a lot of room should something come out and turn or sour the market. It could go all the way down. On the same token, if it really is something that is going to excite the market, that they feel, okay, we're going to get that rate cut, everything is on track, we're looking good, then it could just go. Literally could just go. In which case, again, I just want to bring it to our attention. Let me take it back out to the daily. No, should be able to get it in the hourly. There you go. So what we're looking at is that this would be, and I do have to take it out to the daily, sorry. Actually, is it? Yeah. This would, yeah, oh, sorry, folks. That's what I'm looking for, the A wave. This would be ABC down. I put the 4 here. 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5. It is so big against this, but wave 4 can overlap wave 1 in a diagonal. But I'm telling you, I still don't like it. But if they come up and they start breaking out to the upside, first of all, they'd have to get this thing up above here to really negate a fourth wave. So there you have it. Not that I'm looking for it. But if they really love the market, then I would think that they just start going for it. Otherwise, if it's even going to be lukewarm or even, we don't know, I think it can come up here, finish the 4, and go back down. So a lot can go down. And so we're going to find out real quick. Well, maybe not so quick, but tomorrow. That's kind of what I'm looking at. So that's the scoop. Now, taking a look today at spot gamma levels. Now, I want to take a look at the Qs and just update this because this is what it played around all day. All right, so we had this move. Let me open this up. And let's take a look at what the Qs were doing today. Qs opened at 564, high at 566, low of 560, closer to 561 than 560. Now, going back here. Here it is. That's the low. Now, opened at 564, and the high was still below 564.5. But so we were playing between, oh, come on. We were playing between 565, which was large gamma 3, and 560, which was large gamma 1. That's what the market played in between for most of the day. Here, we got up to a high of 566. So we went above large gamma 3, but they decided no, and they sold it. And then they sold it down. And then it looked like they were going to go head for large gamma 1. And it stopped, and they brought it back. So it was a tight day. Excuse me. It was a tight day, but there were moves that produced some decent profit for day trading. And that's really it. And again, tomorrow, no economic data. We're going to get revised numbers, I hope. And we'll get those in the morning, and they'll include them on the morning update. But outside of that, tomorrow is Jerome Powell's day because it's his speech at the Great Jackson Hole Summit, which is going to be full of economists and bankers and all kinds of things. So they've been whooping it up out there. And the end of it is the speech by the Fed chair. And the market is patiently waiting. All right, so our next update will be tomorrow morning. And then I will probably decide to put out an intraday once we get the gist of the speech. All right, have a great evening.